Podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Yesterday was the day to, when you have a pickup truck, you're oftentimes, hey, can you help us out and move something? Now, I mean, I didn't sign up to get a pickup truck. I wanted a pickup. Well, I didn't. I never did. I had to buy it off of my dad to keep him from driving. And then once I got it in my possession, I'm like, all right, well, I got a truck now. It's my daily driver. By the way, if you don't know the story about how I came upon the truck, it was my dad's. And, it's probably not the best idea to have a dementia patient driving around. But nobody could control him. He's like, I'm not a drive. And then, you'd be with him, or he'd be driving, and then he would just, start looking off into the wild blue yonder and just not paying attention. He's going to kill somebody. And you could tell him that, and he's not going to listen to you. He wouldn't. This is 3, 4, or 5 years ago. He's not going to listen to you. So, the only option would be to disable the car, take the battery out. But your old pal Easy, I said, let me try. I'm talking to the other family members, my stepsisters. I go over there and just visiting. We're having a cookout or something. And just out of the blue, I go, God, you know what? I need a truck. I'm thinking about buying a truck, Dad. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Why? Oh, I got to move stuff. I have a real need. I've been doing a lot of jobs. You just make up some story. And then I just throw it out there. And then I start looking at his. I go, I need one like that. One that's got it's a few years old. I'm not worried about banging it up or anything like that. If I could find one like that somewhere, that would be ideal. And that's all I said. And he's percolating about it. And I could tell he's thinking about it. He doesn't know that I know what I know about him and his horrible driving, and he's going to kill somebody. And then magic, about an hour later, he goes, I will sell you this truck for $3,000 and not a penny less. I go, what? You want to sell me your? What about, don't you want it? And then everyone's like, no, stop, take it, take the deal. Now, by the way, that's a cheap price. I can sell that truck right now for $5,000, even though it's 20 years old. For some reason everywhere, trucks have value. I don't know, because, it makes you look like you love Trump or something or whatever, just because they're probably more because of their utility. Tyler says you should have also told him you were getting into making picture frames to take his saw from him. Fingers go flying off. Oh, God. But then I'm like, you know what, Dad? Okay. I will absolutely do that. Amanda suggests that when you have a pickup truck, it makes you pretend you have a big dick. I've heard people say that, by the way, that it's to compensate for a small wiener. What is Darla doing over there? I don't think she's getting ready to hump. I think she needs to be warm. She's just laying on top of O'Neill. How adorable is that? Uh-oh. Hang on. Zenith acting up. Corey asks how much rust is on it. A ton. There is a ton of rust. You know how it is. Trucks made in the first part of this century. Well, actually, pretty much for any time this century. You basically have one winter storm, and then it starts rusting. Big pile of shit. I hate that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, American Trucks. Amanda, who is obviously feeling very, very froggy today, writes, I bet your dick's starting to rust too. Okay. All right. Very good. Get that out of your system now. Yesterday, the truck, I was in the truck, and as I was, Jackie said to me, hey, Dad, we need some help. We're going to go pick up a table. We got it on Facebook Marketplace. Of course, that's the thing to do. This is a nice table and chairs, though. We show up there, and the place where we go is like really fantastic in Grand Rapids. Someone has purchased the first high school in Grand Rapids or some shit like that, some old ass high school, and completely renovated it to become condos. I'm not even kidding. And so I go into there with Jackie, and this couple lives in what is the gymnasium. Stack of Bibles, hand to God. And it is so sweet. They have totally repurposed the building. Whoever owns it put a lot of money in to make it like individual condos. Man, this fucking place was cool. Like, the doors to their place are like old school double doors. So sweet, man. I went into there, and we got to buy this table. And they got this little dog. And go walking up, and Jackie picks a dog up. And she goes, oh, what's this dog's name? And the lady says, D.O.G. And she goes, D.O.G.? Oh, I like that. And I go, yeah, that's D.O.G. That's dog. Get it? I picked up on it right away. And she goes, Jackie goes, I didn't, what? Oh, my God, D.O.G. 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 And the lady, the owner, the lady who's selling them the table, she goes, no one ever picks up on it. Your dad is probably good at puns. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm good at puns. I'm just brilliant. I just picked up on it right away. D.O.G. That is so cool. That's like F-U-C-K. F-U-C-K-H-E-A-D. What's your dog's name? F-U-C-K-H-E-A-D. Who's that listening to your show? Oh, that's C-O-C-K-S-U-C-K-E-R. All right. Get in the shit. Put it in my truck. And, you got the chairs. This was the moment where it all just went south. Justin, do you want to put the chairs in your vehicle? He gets 2 of them in. 2 of the other 2 go into the bed of my truck. So I got the table, and I got 2 chairs. I see a new person in here, the Devonverse. Hello. Do I know you? Welcome. The famous last words. As we're getting ready to take off, the lady says, hey, do you want some plastic bags to put over the chairs? No, it's not going to rain. Holy shit. We've got to travel 5 minutes from where this place is. We say goodbye to DOG, and we go to Jackie's place. Not only did it rain, it was the type of rain that the windshield wipers couldn't keep up with the volume of rain that was falling. It was a torrential downpour. Oh, my God. Immediate flooding of roads. the amount of rain that fell in that 5 minutes was something that you just don't see that often. A thorough drenching. So the furniture they just get, they've had it for about 30 seconds. The chairs are already soaked. Oh, my God. We pull up. And, well, actually, Jackie, I was thinking about, okay, as soon as it started raining, I started thinking about the chairs. I go, all right, I could pull over, get soaked, grab them out of the bed, and try to make them fit into the back seat of the truck. I debated that. Jackie's right behind me in her car, probably thinking the same thing. And then I decided, no, it's going to be okay. It's just water. No big deal. She calls me, it's raining. Oh, my God. I go, I know. Holy shit. I'm here, too. Get the shit home. Panic ensues. Everybody's losing their mind. Jackie and Justin get into a fight for some reason. I don't know how. I think Justin lost his shit. And Justin is definitely not the type like me to just fly off the handle about anything. But he kind of got chippy. And Jackie is the wrong person to get chippy with, okay? So I wasn't paying attention to them fighting with each other. I was just trying to get the furniture inside of the house. And then we finally get it all situated and things are starting to settle down. And Jackie walks up. She goes, you can apologize now. You can apologize for talking to me that way. Nobody talks to me that way, Justin. I'm sorry. I go, oh, you did it now. I just kept my mouth shut. You know, I didn't want to get involved. When these two fight, which isn't that often, that was probably the worst fight ever. Corey decides to write, just punch her fake boob, cue the troll face. There it is. I guess I just don't know why you actually take the extra step to put the troll face. It's like, I would lose interest in it. I give you credit for not letting up doing that. You've always put the troll face after every joke that you say. Just put the joke. Save yourself the step. Safe to say he lost all of his Pooh Bear points. Corey says he does it because it makes him laugh. Well, I guess that's all you need to do. So that kind of took center stage yesterday. And what's crazy about it is I had nearly forgotten that I had to do that. But I had it in my phone that I had to do that. And then I was driving home from a meeting before that. And I realized, now I haven't driven limo in just shy of 1 year. So they reached out. They go, hey, do you still want to drive? I go, well, I don't have much time to drive. But in a pinch, if nobody can do a run, definitely keep me on because I might be able to help you. They go, okay, we're glad you said that. I go, okay, cool. They go, however, you owe us a drug test and you owe us a medical exam. Yearly, you have to do that when you're a driver. Some can wait longer in between, but I have to get mine yearly. So I go, all right, no problem. They go, all right, we got you in at Med 1 in Grand Rapids. This is the place you go. You walk in, and it's a lobby full of losers. And I got to go take a drug test, pee in a cup, and then get a quick medical exam from a physician, make sure my eyes are okay, make sure my ears are okay, which, frankly, I thought I might fail. But I go in there, and while I'm sitting there waiting for my turn so I can do my exam, some other guy comes in, and he wants to do the same thing. He wants to take a urine test, a drug test. And an older gentleman. And he says to the lady that's waiting on him at the desk, he goes, look, I really have to pee, like right now. She goes, okay, I'm gonna hurry this, and you will be seen as soon as possible. So she like puts him to the front of the line, but he still is kind of like waiting there. Now, I guess I figured out what's happening because his phone rings and I can hear the person coming through the phone talking to this dude. And she's none too pleased that it's taking more than 1 minute. This poor guy hasn't been there for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And she's already calling him saying, hey, what's going on? Where are you? And he says, I'm here at Med 1. I'm about to take the test. And then she's like impatient. And I could hear that she was impatient with him. So I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then he hangs up. Actually, he kept her on the phone. He goes up to the desk again. He goes, look, not only do I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm on a tether. And the boss wants me back at the job right now. I have to get this done quickly. Like, she knew, I think, that he had to go to take the drug test, but she's like not being paid, not giving this guy even any inch, you know? She's bitching at him, and all he wants to do is piss and take a drug test. So whoever the fucking boss is, I don't know if it was his probie or his boss or what, but the tether is on his leg, and he's like, I'm out of tether. I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to go. He's not supposed to be there or something? I don't know. I mean, I guess when you have somebody who's fucked up like that, you want to keep him on a short leash. Son of a bitch can't even piss. What a fucking bad life. And he was an older dude, too. So I was like, oh, God, you've had a hard life. I can just see it in your fucking face. You've been doing this since you were a kid, haven't you? You've been a total fuck up forever. And now here you are at the place where you do drug testing. Everybody's looking at you, judging you. You got your fucking tethers going off. You got some asshole screaming at you on the phone, and you just want to piss. It's time at that point that you're really looking back, and if you think too hard and evaluate your life, you might just throw yourself into traffic. Son of a bitch. He finally goes. I noticed that everybody at that place doesn't give a shit about etiquette there. Like if the phone rings, they'll have a intense personal conversation right in the waiting area, you know? So there I am, surrounded by all these losers. I finally get in there, take my pee test, take my vision test, take my hearing test, explain all the things going on in my life, medicines I'm taking, things like that. I wander over into the waiting area. I even told the story because they give you like an iPad to fill out all the shit that's happened to you in the last year. And so I revealed that I cut my foot off practically with the chainsaw because it asked, have you passed out? And I said, well, yeah, actually I have passed out. And then they got like a million questions about passing out. So then the doc is, he comes in, and this doc, I don't know what it is about docs at a place like this loser place where only losers are getting checked on, like me. Okay? For some reason, the docs seem slightly like white trash docs. Like, if you're like a dermatologist at a clinic, that's like a high-end doc or a plastic surgery doc. But if you're doc at place where you do piss tests, that's loser doctor, right? I just got the impression that this guy was not the sharpest pencil in the box when it comes to doctors. Like, I felt like he was kind of like a fucking dumb fuck doc. I mean, don't you have to, because I have a family member who's actually a dermatologist. And, regular college, medical school, internship, residency, from the start of college at age 17, 18 to getting finally done with everything, you're about 35 years old. No shit. For some reason, I feel like this doc, it basically went high school doc. Tyler writes, yeah, those places are dollar store doctors. Now, Tyler works in the medical industry. I think he's a polyp grinder, but still. I just got the impression that this guy, eats his boogers. Anyway, he wanted to know more about passing out. I told him. He said, okay, no big deal. Gave me my medical card, which says, hey, you can drive. Now, I think I have to pay for that test. I think they actually take it out of my pay to get the test. Tyler writes, I'm actually cutting fallopian tubes. I'll grind some polyps later. I think I actually have to pay for all of this. They take it out of your paycheck. But the thing is, I haven't had a paycheck from them in 1 year. So I think this was just like an adventure. I went on this adventure. Doctor takes a look at me, take a pee test. And then I have a story to talk about on here. And then I just left. That was it. Like an hour out of my day. Quite an adventure, indeed. Also an adventure, speaking of health. This is crazy ass shit right here. Since January, we have been discussing Ottawa Impact. Just so you know, a pack of these far-right conspiracy theorists, freedom fighters, angry that the kid had to wear a mask, claim that if the kid wears a mask, the kid dies. Holy shit. They, as you know, they won seats in the county of Ottawa. All right. Because they were pissed off that they had to wear a mask and that their stupid hand-clapping churches got shut down during the pandemic. They caught everybody asleep, this whole organized Ottawa Impact group. That won't happen again. They will lose in the next election, and then that will be it. This chapter will close. Since then, they've had various press conferences saying they hate gay people and transgender people. They blew up the diversity, Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. They changed the slogan of the county from where you belong, which is not true anymore, to let freedom ring, using that term freedom. Anybody who uses freedom, patriot, shit like that, these are crazy fucks. They didn't like the health director from the previous regime that just lost because they're like, she's one of them. She wanted us to wear masks. Well, you're fired. Well, she filed suit. All right. And got that halted. And that it's taken this long up to now for there to be any type of resolution. The Ottawa Impact bastards are led by one fuck named Joe Moss. Moss turned to some loser named Ryan Kelly to be the new health director. But that actually got put on hold because the one they wanted to fire, Adeline Hambley, said, hold on, I'm suing you. Now, the guy they wanted, no joke, has the same skill set as Joe Martinez, our resident heating and cooling expert on this show. Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling. He is a furnace and AC repairman. He's a HVAC guy. Now, his wife, Kristen Megan Kelly, likes to say that he's like, I don't know, she always comes up with really inflated terms for him and for her. She puts sawdust on puke and cleans up that at like schools. She's a janitor. She calls herself a scientist. She's not. All right. So you've got a guy who changes furnace filters that's going to be the new health director. In fact, this is audio of Ryan Kelly's wife, Kristen Megan Kelly, when she was butthurt with me making fun of her stupid daughter. When they set the daughter up there with the fat bitch grandma and brainwashed the kid, talking about how, thank you, Joe Moss, for keeping us from sexual deviants that are transgender or drag queens, whatever the fuck it was. Well, that fat bitch called my Joe Martinez and said, what are you doing? You can't advertise on the Eric Zane Show podcast. And so the fat bitch is calling all my sponsors, who then tipped me off and said, hey, this fat bitch is calling us. And then Joe sent me this.
Hi, my name is Kristen Megan Kelly. I'm the veteran, and I'm the veteran. I believe I've called and left a message earlier today. I'm the veteran. I'm just trying to get some feedback from whoever would be in charge. I'm the veteran in making the decision to sponsor the Eric Zane podcast. I'm the veteran. I am the mother. I'm the veteran of a child that he spoke about on his podcast. I'm the veteran in a sexual manner. I'm the veteran, including sex acts that he wants my veteran to perform.
No, I don't want her to perform those things.
I've had the sheriff involved.
But if she does, I hope that your mother walks in on her.
Several sponsors have already backed out. And I'm the veteran. I believe in nonviolent free market solutions. I'm the veteran, so I greatly support free speech. I'm the veteran, but this is not protected speech. I'm the veteran when discussing sexual acts of a veteran. I'm the veteran. It was an attack on me and my family, and I'm the veteran. It's one thing to have an opinion of adults, but again, it's not protected speech to speak sexually about a 7-year-old girl. I'm the veteran. If you would like to see
Well, apparently it is, because nobody called on me.
The evidence, and I have seen on social media someone is messaging people to not talk about it. I'm the veteran, but they want your business to know that your name is slapped behind the screen when he's saying these things. I'm the veteran. You can call me if you'd like. My number is area code 405-694-8344. I'm the veteran.
I bleeped it so that you couldn't possibly figure out what her number is.
But I would really like to know if your business supports this type of rhetoric. Area code 405-694-8344. I'm the veteran, and I'm the veteran. I would just like to hear back from you. Thank you very much for your understanding and your time. I'm the veteran. Thanks.
I'm a veteran, and I'm a veteran. Well, anyway. Ottawa Impact wanted the husband of that scientist to be the health director. Okay. Fast forward. It comes time. Oh, by the way, they also, Ottawa Impact, there is a man, a black white supremacist, allegedly, who keeps his racism stored in his neck fat. John Gibbs, who ran as a Republican in for the House of Representatives, and I think I forgot what district, 33rd district. Kent County. If you recall, Peter Meyer won that seat in the previous election off through when Justin Amash said he wasn't going to run again. And so Peter Meyer won that. And then he was one of like 8 or 9 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump. And the fucking sick fuck Republicans didn't like that. So John Gibbs ran against Peter Meyer in the primary for this GOP seat. Trump endorsed Gibbs. Gibbs beat Meyer. So Meyer's out. Gibbs ran against a Democrat for that seat named Hillary Scholten, who won. And that seat went Democrat from the House of Representatives from the state of Michigan for the first time in 40 years. Gibbs disappears, but resurfaces when the Ottawa Impact pieces of shit hire him, not an elected position. They hired him to be the county administrator. All right. Fast forward to now. All the crazy fucking county commission meetings leading up to this. There was a moment when it came time for the fiscal year to begin. So the budget was discussed by Ottawa Impact. And there's a few county members who aren't part of Ottawa Impact. One of them is Jacob Bonema, who's a Republican who ran with Ottawa Impact. And then he went rogue. He said, you know what? You guys are too fucked up. I'm out. So they decided that they're going to, since they couldn't get rid of Adeline Hambly, it came budget time and they reduced her budget down to just nothing. They said, we're cutting your budget by over $4 million or something like that. It was even more than that at first. And she was like, well, why are we even here? We can't, that means we won't have any employees. All of these services that the health department provides for the public will not be able to be funded. There's no way we can operate on this amount of money. And they said, well, sorry. That's their way of getting back at her. This is called revenge politics. And the people who suffer from that are the public. While this is all going on, my friend Joe Spalding is helping with the recall effort of one of the Ottawa Impact pieces of shit, lady by the name of Lucy Ebel, trying to get her out, and that is to be voted on in May to begin the process of ending this nightmare. You vote every 2 years on county commissioners, so hopefully they'll all be gone by the time the next election. And Lucy will be out before that, which means they won't have a majority anymore. Now, so they try to slash her budget. She then goes to social media and says, yeah, this would throw the health department into disarray. And her going to social media and talking about it publicly, they looked at that as insubordination or some shit, and they used that as a reason to try to fire her. And they had this long, drawn-out, many hours hearing with, like, an actual judge supervising it, and a huge amount of resources, time, and money spent on this. When it came time to actually announce whether or not they're going to fire her, that's where it got even more murky, because they didn't fire her and they put off the vote and they waited. This is just recently. This is like a couple weeks ago. And then the amount of people were starting to realize that obviously at Ottawa Impact that they are in great jeopardy if they do actually fire her for a wrongful termination suit. They have a legal team called Coleman Legal, which has close ties to Joe Moss. Like, it's a real scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of relationship. And they've been paying this legal team a ton of money that you can look up the dollar amount spent by the county since this all started, because people are so pissed off. They're doing Freedom of Information Act requests, and it all costs money. And hours billed to Coleman for all of this shit is substantial. So a lot of money is flying out the doors to the legal team to represent these assholes and challenges, and just the day-to-day operations of the county aren't really happening in a refined or a polished manner, because all these assholes are doing is trying to defend themselves from normal thinking people to protect their distorted way of life and get their fucking AC repairman into the health department and shit like that. Well, they don't fire her. Instead, it was learned yesterday, reported by the Holland Sentinel, that Ottawa Impact, Ottawa County, is instead going to give Adeline Hambly money to just leave. And the reported offer, is $4.1 million. So, and it just so happens that $4.1 million is about the same amount of money that they wanted her to reduce her budget by for the coming year to fund the health department. Holy shit. So it goes from, we're having a hearing to fire you, where they waste all this time and energy, to, wait, no, we're going to give you $4.1 million instead. Now, the reason why they're doing that is because, and then she would sign an agreement not to sue them. And, well, they obviously realize that sweet little Adeline Hambly and her lawyer have her by the short and curlies. She's actually got a handful of Ottawa Impact dicks and vaginas in her hand. And this tell of offering $4.1 million is proof. Aram says this is your tax money that she is walking away with. Yes, it is. And shame on those that caused this to happen. And this all happened because they didn't like a mask. They didn't like their little wacky church being shut down so that people wouldn't get sick. That's why this happened. That's what this is all about. It's always been about that. Okay? These are the same crazy people that when a kid wears a mask, they're like, oh, you're hurting her. You're hurting my child. Fuck your fucking kid. The hell it is, you asshole. So good. You know what? I hope she doesn't take it. And she sues them. And then I hope she says, you know what? I don't want that money. I want my job. I'll take my job, and then you can fire me. And then, now that's a huge gamble. She'd never do that. So from what I understand, not only is she getting that money, but she has like an assistant who's also going away with like $130,000. So they're really, really paying big time for this. There's a really nice lady by the name of Sarah Leach who writes for the Holland Sentinel, and she has been the point person for everything Ottawa. Okay, she's the one who broke the story yesterday at 1:40 in the afternoon. And the headline: instead of firing her, Ottawa Impact plans to give Hambly millions to resign. My God. It starts with pay $4 million to step down 10 months after trying to demote her without cause, which is what they did. And that's how they fucked up. The largest settlement ever in Ottawa County, and nearly the exact amount the board cut from the public health department's budget this year. Shit. Okay, now, as much as these brainwashed right-wing pieces of shit hate her and people like me and people like you who aren't retarded, what they hate more, though, these Dutch fucks where I live, is losing money. And they've lost a lot at the hands of Ottawa Impact. On Monday, November 6th, the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners was planning to vote on whether or not to fire Hambly for cause following a 2-day termination hearing, but instead went into a closed session for more than 8 hours, largely used for negotiations with Hambly's attorney. Multiple sources with knowledge of the situation told the Sentinel they were not authorized to discuss the matter on the record. I love that Leach gets this info on the down low and then immediately publishes it. And the people behind closed doors, I can promise you there was a gag order in place. Don't say shit. We don't want Leach to find out. Sure enough, she finds out seconds after it finishes probably and immediately publishes it. Discussions, however, really began several days earlier with an initial offer from Hambly via her attorney, Sarah Riley Howard, that would allow her to remain in her position, according to multiple sources. Hold on, let me read that again. an initial offer was from Hambly that would allow her to remain in her position. Okay, so they said, hey, we want her to stay. And that offer was let Hambly remain as health officer if she dropped her lawsuit against the county and the county dropped the termination charges. So that is something that Hambly's attorney was like, okay, let's just forget the whole thing and start over. That's what she was initially suggesting. They turned that down and said, no, we'd rather give you $4 million than let her here. We want the AC repairman. They also wanted, Hambly's attorney wanted Ottawa Impact to pay her legal fees, which at the time were estimated to be about $102,000. That would, it would also result in Deputy Health Officer Marcia Mansari's resignation in January with a severance agreement of 1 year pay plus benefits. Would led to an external search through the county's Human Resources Department to seek a new deputy health officer, ultimately selected by Hambly. This is all very reasonable. This is what they said wanted to happen. I also prevented the board from filing additional charges through the end of 2024 unless the county's HR department conducted an independent investigation. So the initial offer by Hambly's attorney was let her keep her job. The right-hand person does want to leave, so she gets a year, and let Adeline select the replacement, and you can't call her on the carpet until the end of 2024, unless if she has sex with a kid in the office. No, we'd rather pay $4.1 million. They figured that was the better choice and let an uneducated oaf into the spot to take her position. They settled on, they said, no, we got something better, something that benefits us. You get out, and we'll give you $4.1 million. And that's what Sarah Leach writes. Instead, the county will now pay Hambly more than $4 million to resign rather than firing her, which likely would have led to further appeals and prolonged litigation. If the settlement is finalized, Hambly will pay her own attorney fees, which ultimately works out to be about $250,000. Under the current agreement, the number two will also resign after being placed on paid administrative leave through the end of January. So she gets a vacation, and then she gets a year's pay. God damn, they're just throwing out money. They give Adeline Hambly $4.1 million. They give the number two, Mansari, a vacation till the end of January. And then she gets $125,000. Fuck me. What a turn of events. It's just poetic that $4.1 million is nearly the exact amount cut from the public health department's budget. Jesus. The entire $4 million would be taken from the, I don't understand a lot of this, from the Insurance Authorities Fund, whatever that is, reserved for claims. Okay, so however you get that money, it's there for things just like this. Like, I don't know, someone gets injured on property or something. I don't know, sued, maybe something like this. But that fund that the county has is worth $23 million. I'm not particularly sure how that fund is created. If that's just like an insurance policy, I don't know. I don't know where that actual dollar amount comes from. It says the $4 million would be taken from the Insurance Authorities Fund, reserved for claims, which has a fund balance of $23 million. I'd love to see where that money comes from, how you build that fund. Because, I don't know, maybe this money doesn't come directly from taxpayers, because that's going to be the first thing people bitch about is, this is where our tax, but, maybe it isn't coming from the taxpayers. If it isn't, well then, everybody wins. Hambly gets $4 million. Mansari gets a vacation at $123,000. And these stupid piece of shit scumbags get the husband of that fat bitch to run the health department. Had the lawsuit resulted in a judgment in Hambly's favor, like if she sued them and won, the county would have been liable for only the first $1 million from the fund reserve, and anything else would have been covered by the county's insurance carrier. Okay. Hambly and the board's Ottawa Impact majority have been battling in the courts for months. Well, I don't need to say that. I don't need to read that. We've been talking about it. Hambly sued the board in February, claiming the attempt to demote her was unlawful and alleging the Ottawa Impact majority had repeatedly interfered with their state-authorized health duties. Yeah, they were all pissed off because she, like at the Pride Festival, the health department was there encouraging people to be extra careful and vigilant and test for sexually transmitted infections. I mean, say what you will. Our local gays love sex, okay? I was reading a study that Ottawa County homosexuals are some of the most sexy homosexuals on the planet, okay? They'll put their dick at anything. They're the best at sex, our local homosexuals. And so if you're going to be that talented at sex, I mean, there's sometimes that comes with a cost. You could be having so much sex that you could be transmitting a terrible infection, and you just don't want that. Now, the health department goes there and says, hey, you guys going to fuck? Yeah. All right, well, you might want to put on a condom. Okay, hey, thanks. Thank you, Miss Health Department. I appreciate that. And then that, keeps the spread of disease low because people are going to screw. Well, Ottawa County doesn't like that type of with the Ottawa Impact piece of shit. They don't like that type of upfront nomenclature. All right? They don't like, getting in front of things. And I can't think of a better place to encourage people to practice safe sex than like a pride parade. I mean, you know how it is. At the pride parade, everybody parties during the day and then dicks are going in butts after. And even more than that, there's a lot of sex that's going to happen post-parade. And I love communities that encourage people to not get sick. That's what you want. Mediocrity Dave writes, in terms of an Ottawa County slogan, instead of let freedom ring, the sexiest gays is much better than let freedom ring. Tyler says people are out there shooting ropes full of STD. Kenny adds there's no way that money doesn't somehow come from taxpayers. Well, I hope Sarah Leach finds out. So that is where we are today. A gigantic story. I should get my pal Joe Spalding in here. Who is, this guy is, you've heard him before, is on the front line. I just sent him a text that says incoming. That allows him to get to a whatever. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't even know what he does for a living. He might even live with his parents. He is one of the people that is helping lead the charge in the recall of...
Hello.
Hey, buddy, it's EZ. How are you?
Pretty good, Easy. How's it going over there?
Not bad. I was just really taking a deep dive on the payout to Adeline Hambly offer.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know what's interesting is I was reading Sarah Leach's article. The initial salvo by Adeline's lawyer was she wants her job. She wants to help look for the new deputy. It was all like Ottawa Impact could have just said, all right, let's start over. Like they gave her the out, or she gave them the out, and they said, no, we'd rather give you $4 million.
Yeah, and it's like a normal person thinks that when they're going into a lawsuit, like they want to not lose a whole giant shit ton of money. but they were thinking the exact backwards because these people are, completely ass backwards.
Wow. So it's incredible that amount of money, the $4.1 million, is about the amount of money that they wanted to slash from her budget, which is what really put this all into high gear when they decided to do that. And
yeah, that's poetic.
It absolutely is poetic. Not to mention this Mansari, the deputy, she gets a paid vacation till the end of January. And on top of that, $123,000. I mean, this is incredible. I think the only losers are the people in Ottawa County.
Oh yeah, taxpayers are just going to get steamrolled by this, and Marcia is one of the best people in the county. She's a wonderful woman, and if you watch ABC News put out 7 minutes nationally on Ottawa County, and they interviewed her a little bit. And she used to be a Republican for pretty much her entire life. Her and her husband are deeply religious, as far as I knew, and they're just the nicest people. And now they're getting it's not just that they are getting that paid vacation on taxpayer dime. We're locked out of their experience in the amount, what they have to offer the county. So
now we get AC Repairman and his fat wife to run the health department.
I mean, that's the way that looks. But again, he has to go through state approval, and the state has to approve him before he can be seated in that position. And I don't know, maybe we'll get extraordinarily lucky and we'll actually have a process for selecting a health director that's in public. And maybe that can be some semblance of a reset, but I doubt that's going to happen.
The $4 million, according to Sarah Leach, she wrote, it comes from the Insurance Authority's fund reserved for claims, which has a fund balance of $23 million. I wonder what the source of the $23 million is. Is that just over time a little bit of tax dollars to build it up? But I guess I'm not sure where that source of that money is.
So that would be my guess. But the thing that concerns me about that is if you read the article, if they would have gone full on to trial and they would have gotten a judgment, the insurance company would have had to cover everything above $1 million, and our tax dollars, that insurance, that resource would have been drained only $1 million.
Right.
So they decided to jump the gun and cost us, $4 million, which is the biggest a settlement that's ever happened in the history of Ottawa County. And on top of that, we're still looking down the barrel of other lawsuits, including an age discrimination lawsuit against John Gibbs for saying that he wanted someone young that he could control and give orders to.
He brought that intern guy in, whatever that fucking guy. I forgot his name. And because there's an older guy who said, well, wait a minute, I'm incredibly more qualified than that punk. And he got the job. Why? And that's a fair question.
Yeah. The one thing that is interesting to me is that the Coleman Legal Group was able to successfully convince their client, because it was very clear to everybody else that the wrongful termination suit would have been a disaster. And maybe it would have been seen as a bigger disaster from their point, from a PR perspective. But there's no getting around the size of the figure, the $4 million. And that's something every taxpayer and every voter is going to be thinking about next November. Jesus. And then in District 2 in May.
What is your next target at the next time you have a chance to speak public comment? Because, I mean, do you just recap this to the board? What do you think is going to be your next talking point that you want to discuss in front of these losers?
Well, it's important for that audience, when I'm speaking, that I'm saying things that, one, directly counter what was happening, what's going on. But more importantly, I think from a practical standpoint, as we start approaching the election year, we want to be giving the people that are thinking about supporting them more reasons to not support them, or more reasons to turn against them. And so those are really easy things to do when we just bring up that $4 million figure. So I expect a lot of people are going to be talking about that $4 million figure. And, for me, I really think that's kind of important, but I also want to talk about the predictability of all of this, because on one level, I think that somehow Joe Moss and the rest of Ottawa Impact feel like they're playing some sort of four-dimensional chess, but they're really just thrashing in every direction and sinking the entire state Republican Party with them, because Christina Caramo is also having a meltdown as we're speaking.
Right. I was seeing that they want her out.
Yeah.
Now.
And
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, there's just like, and it's not like there's anybody over here saying that we want Democrats to control the entire state up and down. That's not something that's being said. In Ottawa County, we want, at this point, it becomes super clear, we want a county commission that's not going to bleed taxpayers dry, regardless of party. But we're still a fairly conservative community.
Absolutely.
And what they're doing is an affront to that conservatism, and I think that's the point that I want to be making.
Well, yeah, that's that. I'm glad you point that out, because if you just take a look at it, people might say, "Oh, he's a big lefty," but at the end of the day, this is a very conservative community, and we want governance that isn't led by motivation for revenge and things, which is what this is. This is revenge politics. It's not there.
It's exactly right.
And I think that's important to point out too. So I like how you the idea of at those public comment, that's an opportunity to spread the word about why you need to get these people. It's like a campaign speech every time they have a on behalf of normal thinking people. Every time they have a public comment moment.
Yeah, and I mean, the issues are absolutely serious, and at the local level, they directly impact us. But from a structural level, when those speeches are being given, it's not that big of a stretch to compare it to like a wrestling promo. It really can be seen that way, in the way that like the audience is there's one speaker and there's the audience around them, and then there's the indirect impact of what's being said down the line. And I think that especially with the ability to clip video and spread it on social media across the board and different platforms, I think that's kind of really changed the nature of how these public comments work across the country, but especially when they're needed, like in Ottawa County.
All right. This is all good. Sorry that I always just spring it on you. I don't give you a heads up. I usually just like, hey, I should get Joe's take on this. That's usually the way it goes in my brain. I apologize for that.
No, it's awesome, Easy, and I really think it's wonderful that you think that I'm able to off the cuff have these conversations, because I mean I'd love to have these. I'd love to be able to prep for them, but I'm happy to give my thoughts on my head as well.
You're skilled. You're skilled. It's just a conversation. I know that you can handle it. Otherwise, I wouldn't put you in this position. So, good job as always.
Appreciate it. Well, we're going to keep doing what we're going to do, and we're looking forward to removing Lucy Ebel in May at this recall election. We're going to find out on Tuesday of next week if from the county that our count of signatures is valid, and we're going to be on the ballot unless they can challenge enough signatures in 5 days.
Do they actually have to look at the signature, compare where the person lives, or like vet it out like one by one? Is that how they do that?
Yeah, so the county has 2 weeks where they have to do that, and they know that they have the right number of signatures, and they go through and they count them across the qualified voter file. So they compare it to the qualified voter file, address and name. And if they're a registered voter, they check the signature, and that's the last step for them. Now, yeah, they have to do that the whole stack, and they have to get the full. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but then they have 14 days. Lucy and her lawyers have 5 days at the end of that.
Okay. All right. Well,
if they want to challenge, they have to do the same thing.
And that all ends Tuesday.
So the 14 days that the county has ends Tuesday.
Okay. And then Lucy has 5 days after that.
Yep, to challenge. And then after that 5 days, it's very unlikely that we're not going to be on the ballot.
All right.
It's very likely that we will be.
And tell Larry I said hi. We haven't spoken yet, but he's the guy who filed this. He got the ball rolling on the whole Lucy Ebel thing.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I can tell Larry you said hi. I can also, see if he can wants to have a conversation with you down the road. But yeah, Larry's a good guy, and he definitely filed those papers. So
I don't like black people. I'm kidding.
I doubt
I'm kidding.
I doubt that's true. I think you would have been stabbed growing up if that were
I'm
true.
totally kidding. All right, buddy. Hey, man, it was good. It was good to hear your voice.
Take care, easy.
All right, man. See ya.
Bye.
There you go, Joe Spalding. What a legend. I got to get Kyle from a company that used to market themselves on the podcast. That concludes the Ottawa Impact portion of the show. I knew that was going to be a big hitter. Those fucking assholes. Oh, my God. Well, hello, Eric Zane. Well, hello, Eric Zane. Mm-hmm.
And
Yo,
hey, what's going on?
how are you? How are you? What's life going, or what's going on in your world?
Oh, you just chilling, dude. Busy week. But I'll tell you what, going on a tiny little vacation with the fam to Frankenmuth this weekend. So
Oh, really?
that's what we got going on, baby.
You know, you might see my beloved better half up there.
Oh, really?
Yes. You might.
Is she going there?
I think so. That's the rumor. I think it's like
that's the rumor, huh?
Yeah, you know how? I don't know if you're. Has Blue ever done the? Hey, I'm going out with the ladies. Hey, I'm going out with the ladies for the weekend, or they go on like a girls' trip.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? Let me think about this, because no, I don't think she's gone on like a girls' trip yet. I know one was being planned for a while, and I don't know what the fuck happened with that, to be honest with you. But they did what she did in lieu of that, since Jameson's so young. She would do this thing where her and her friends would get together like once a month or something and do these things called ABC dinners, where they just like go to a restaurant, like but it has to start with the letter of the alphabet that they're on, or you know, some girly shit like that or whatever. But yeah, they used to do that. And then, you know, they're women, so they got sick of each other after a while, so they stopped doing it.
Okay. I got you. Well, yeah, well, that's what's happening in my world. Queen of the Forest is like, I think we're going to go to Frankenmuth. We're going to go shopping. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And then, so I think, and then she, like I asked her, like, hey, what are you doing? She goes, I already told you. Why don't you listen to me?
Oh, man.
Do you ever have that happen where she like accuses you of not listening to her?
I mean, it's. I feel like I probably on a consensus for all the guys out there listening. I feel like it's probably like the number one argument that we all get into. So yeah, 100% of the time I get my ass chewed out for not listening. But it's not that I'm not listening. It's like I call it like justice, you know what I mean? Because like when she wants to not listen to what I'm saying, it's totally fine. So like sometimes I'll just purposely not be listening. You know what I mean?
Yep. I you know, the thing is, you know what she does lately to me is she if she's having a conversation with, like, say, my daughter about her plan to go to Frankenmuth, and I'm in the room, she assumes I'm listening. So the other day she goes, hey, I'm going to Frank. I go, well, I didn't know you were going to Frank. I told you. I go, wait a minute. You did? Yes. I was talking to Jackie and you were right there. And I'm like, now hold on a minute here. You just you do that all the time. You just assume that because I'm in the room, I'm paying. That's not true at all. My mind is other places. I could be doing something. I mean, just because I'm in the room doesn't mean I'm like paying attention to what you're fucking telling me.
I know.
And she wasn't even telling me. She was telling Jackie.
Oh man, and then you're getting a bunch of guff for that, and then like this little tiny anger like builds inside of you of like, how am I in trouble for this? You know what I mean?
Right. So she and then like just today, that conversation between her and I just happened. So just moments ago when I was getting ready to start the show, she came in and she goes, listen, I have planned. She goes, I want you to listen to me. I go, okay. And she says, after school, I have to go do this. And then after that, I'm doing that. And then I'm going to get a drink with Liz. And I go, okay, sounds good. She goes, did you get that? And she's doing it like insulting, like I'm an idiot, like I'm a dumb fuck. And I go, I got it because you're telling me. If you just say it Oh yeah, I told you. If like I'm in the house, she thinks I'm like I'm not even in the room. What the fuck is wrong with you? So,
Oh man, I can't believe you got that. Did you get that? Oh man, that'd be fun. I'd be furious.
I wanted to punch her right in the stomach.
Oh man, I hope I do see her in Frankenmuth this weekend. I'll try to come up with I'll just because I know what she looks like. I'll just just come up behind her if I see her and I'll say some mean shit in your support.
Isn't it crazy to think that you spoke with her first before I ever spoke with you?
I know, yeah, and straight up, that's 100% how it worked. And then she just said, "I'm done with you. Just talk to my husband. Don't talk to me no more."
Well, yeah, it was like she goes, "Hey, I just hired this nice boy. He has a dumpster." I go, "Oh, okay." And then you're there in the driveway, and we hit it off right away. This is years ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, this guy's cool." And then that's it. You know what? And then right then, we hadn't even discussed any business. And I was like, right away, this guy's got to be funny. This guy is a goddamn talent.
That's how people describe me usually. No, they don't. They just say shit like he's probably autistic. That's what they usually say about me.
Well, only the most entertaining people have a little bit of the tism, and I think I might. And that's good. I think you do too. I think you do too.
Oh, for sure. As I've gotten older and when you're little, you don't want to learn about it. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't want to learn about autism because, I don't want it to be me. You know what I mean? But as I got older and I started researching based on when I was telling you about when my nephew got diagnosed with the old Aspies. So I started checking it out and I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely got it. But then I started extrapolating it further and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, my dad's definitely got it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure my mom's got it. I'm like, one of my uncles definitely got it. And my grandma who just passed away, I'm like, she definitely had it. You start doing a little analysis and you're dude, people in my family are fucked, dude.
I firmly believe that out of all of my family, the slight degree of tism sprinkling that I have has allowed everything to be fun and interesting. I mean, I prefer it. I actually prefer it. I'm so happy that I have some of the tism.
I know. You know what? This is just a little like a life philosophy, but that's actually the thing that bums me out the most about the planet Earth or human beings is people like me, I like to have a good fucking time. You know what I mean? I like to say some controversial, funny stuff and get some laughs and have a good time. But then you always got some dude who's like, you need to take this seriously.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
shut up.
I don't know if I have to. You know what I mean? And then you start thinking about. I'm like, the alternative to, my potential condition is what if I was just a boring, regular, you know what I mean? What if when I walked into a room, everybody was just like, nah, fuck, dude. Right. You know what I mean?
When I was in 5th grade and Mr. Palo was discussing, whatever the fuck it is on the blackboard, and I take the erasers and smash them into the face of the girls that have asthma, no one's going to remember. No one's going to remember what he was teaching. They're only going to remember me banging the erasers in Jenny Markuzik's face.
That's some classic shit right there.
You see, that's talent. That's you're standing out above the crowd. It's fucking great.
And you might even be solely responsible for the public school system switching from blackboards to whiteboards.
Right. Yep. The old erasers. Holy shit. All right. So I'm wearing my Lions hoodie right now, and they just came off of the bye, and I was reading that the whole team is very healthy right now. They're finally all able to play. So that means if they go to San Diego and fuck this up, everybody's going to be furious.
I know, and you know what, especially since we're just this is what my brain just did, Eric Zane. And I was listening to you, I caught everything you said, but the tism kicked in a little bit and you said coming off the bye, and immediately my brain came up with like a response that I would just say right then, which is coming off the bye is better than coming on the bye.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, why does this have to happen to me, Eric Zane?
I don't know.
Because we're talking about football, and here I am. It's just my brain's like, no, say this.
That's it. That's the way it is. That's again sprinkle of the Aspie. And by the way, I fucked up. It's Los Angeles Chargers. with by the way, what a pile of shit. No one
I
goes to those
know.
games.
I know, and like I get it, like in some respects, like so you got like the fucking Rams in like the '80s or whatever, and you're out in LA and you're just like railing coke and like life's good, and then the fucking football team is like, you know what, we're gonna move to fucking St. Louis, and so you're probably butthurt about that. Like I would be butthurt if like the Lions moved to like some other city, you know what I mean? And then so then you like got like a whole generation of like families who like like now you're in like a whole different generation, and then you're gonna move back. Yeah, it's rough, dude. You know what I mean?
It's remarkable that only in California you can have such an enormous city that no one gives a shit about football for some reason, yet you have 2 football teams and a gigantic, very expensive stadium that no one goes to watch the games. There will be no lie, more Lions fans at the Detroit Lions LA Chargers game than there will be Chargers fans. No one
there
goes.
better be, dude.
Yeah, and the reason why they left San Diego is because this is one of those cases where the team told this community to build a stadium, which they didn't. And I love that because typically that's up to the taxpayers to pay for it. I don't understand why these teams that are worth billions of dollars, why the owner of the team doesn't build a goddamn stadium. Why is that impossible? Can you imagine if whatever business, you can think of like Meijer. If Meijer said, okay, we're going to keep this store in Grand Rapids, but Grand Rapids has to build the store. People would say, fuck you. What are you talking about? I don't understand that.
It's straight up. I know. Like when you get, it's just it's the rich people. You know what I mean? Like, cause you imagine, I don't even know I'm thinking of the NBA now, I think actually, but like one of the owners in the NBA is like, I don't even know, like worth like just like a lot of billions of dollars. You know what I mean? And like, can you imagine just like having that much money and you're just like, you know what? I want the fucking poor people to pay for this shit, or for half of this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like if you want us to stay, it's like, don't be a douchebag, dude. Like just let us watch some football and some basketball, dude.
The Ilitch family did that with Little Caesars Arena, and it was paid for by the city of Detroit primarily, and it's a total disaster. The owner of the Pistons wants out as soon as the lease is up. He's going to move the fuck out of there. And probably,
oh really?
Yeah, that's the word. Move to another place in Detroit. No one even goes to the Piston game. The team sucks shit too. So fuck.
Yeah, I know. They're like, pack it up, dude. We're moving back to the fucking landfill in Auburn Hills, baby.
Yeah, I can't believe that stadium's gone. They like ripped it down. Like the second the Pistons left, it's gone.
Straight up, like, and I don't even know if I told you about this, but and to be honest with you, I don't even know how long ago this was now. But me and Blue and our friends, we went to over to that side to go to like the Top Golf and like just have like a little weekend away.
Yeah.
And our hotel was like right on that strip where the Palace was, and like we were just driving by it, and like all these like just like these memories were just like flooding back of like Pistons games, and like I'm like, yeah, it just fucking, it's eerie, you know what I mean? And then get this, the fucking we didn't think about it. Well, I didn't book the hotel, but my best friend's wife booked it, and like she was like, yeah, let's like right by Top Golf, like not a big deal. But we were trying to like get a ride to like a restaurant, and like from an Uber, and the guy at the hotel at the front desk was like, I wouldn't do it if I were you. And we're like, what do you mean? He was like, nobody comes over here, like, so you're not going to be able to get a ride back. And I'm like, what?
Shit.
So yeah, it's dead over there.
When I was growing up, we used to go to Piston games at the Silverdome.
Oh, hell yeah. I would have loved to do that.
Holy shit. So they put up this enormous curtain, okay, dividing the thing in half, and it's still so goddamn big. And we're sitting up there in the asshole seats for like $5, and you can't see dick. I mean, you're so far away. And
for sure.
There's no jumbotron that you can see because it's all low res. I mean, it was before fiber optics. That didn't even exist.
Yeah.
So it's basically 60,000 people looking at like a 10-inch TV.
Oh man, it would have been sick though.
It was horrible. You couldn't even see anything. It was kind of like, why am I even here?
Yeah,
so stupid.
I saw I've seen like articles, I guess you'd say, of like various. I think it's mostly baseball stadiums, maybe, but like when they just like build like chairs like right behind a column. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
have you see? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Like,
the,
how the fuck does that happen?
The obstructed view seats.
Yeah. Yep.
Right now, I'm actually as we speak about it, I was sharing on the video stream a image of what they would configure the stadium, and it was just weird looking. And the picture I'm showing doesn't have the curtain, but goddamn, they almost like had to build a stadium within the stadium.
Yeah, straight up. Because I remember I went, me and my dad, like back, I was like young. So like I missed like the Bad Boy Pistons and like, when they would play there before the Palace, before they moved to the Palace. And I remember like I saw a picture, like a camera guy must have been like under the hoop. And it was like a picture like facing up of like Isaiah Thomas doing like a layup. And you could see like the Silver Dome roof, like, in the distance behind him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, like I couldn't imagine like trying to shoot a basketball when the roof is that high. I feel like it would just throw off all your depth and you would just be fucking like throwing the ball into the stands accidentally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like just like it blew my mind seeing that pic.
All right. So anything else burning on your brain, Kyle?
No, the only thing I gotta say, Eric Zane, is actually, you know what? I kept forgetting to bring up I wanted to talk to this like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's old news now. But did you hear about that one bitch, like that fucking old lady who was like 104 or something, and she was skydiving, and like the fucking Guinness World Records was going to be like, hey, you're the oldest lady that ever skydived, but she fucking died before they could get there to give her the plaque. Did you fucking hear about this?
I'm looking at it right now. Yes. 104-year-old woman dies a week after possibly breaking a world record. Oh, no.
Yeah, can you fucking imagine, dude?
Oh, God. Yeah, I see the image of her in the plane. She's thumbs up. She looks pretty good. And then
this lady's actually I like this fucking lady, because get this, like somewhere in the article it says like she started skydiving when she was 100, and I'm like, are you fucking like, can you imagine like the amount of paperwork you'd have to fill out like with that company to release liability? It'll be like, listen, you're a fucking 100, so this is not going to probably go well, so you gotta sign these fucking forms, dude.
Now what's interesting, it says that the former record was some lady in Sweden who was 103. Now, does that mean that this one is not confirmed because the lady croaked?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it. I'm trying to get into like the deep dark conspiracy theories here and like figure out what the fuck's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Maybe like big skydiving killed her or something like that.
Big sky, yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Big
you know what I
parachute.
mean? Or like you got fucking or maybe like Joe Biden is like related to the 103-year-old lady, and he was like, hey, we gotta fucking do something about it. You know what I mean? Like something's going on here. Like you can't just like start skydiving when you're 100 and then skydive for 4 years, like no problem, and then just suddenly you're croaking. I don't know, dude. Something's crazy here.
Have you ever been in the presence of someone who is well into their 90s and they seem fine? Like they look good, they think well, they can talk, they don't sound like an idiot, they can eat, they got their teeth, they actually, it's really something. I've been in the presence of a couple people over the years who are of advanced age, and you just get the impression that they're going to live for about another 30 years.
Yeah, straight. That was my not my most recent grandma that died, but the one before that. Yeah, she was. Let's see here. She was, I think, 93 when she died. Yeah, same deal, dude. She was just fucking just talk to you regular, like she didn't sound like she was nuts or nothing.
Right.
And then when she went to the hospital, they were like, yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but you have like colon cancer and have had it for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, I guess that fucking sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's pretty badass, dude.
That is incredible. Chris in the chat writes, my grandma was like that right up until she died at 94. But then there's also people like my grandmother. I remember like when she was like my age, and I think she may, at least I thought she was about 97 when she was 53. She was so fucked up at a young, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this old lady? Oh, Jesus Christ. It was terrible. And then she lived for like another 30 years, and it was like she was 150, it felt like, when she finally died. Oh, my God.
It's a weird science, you know what I mean? Like, because whenever you see like those people who live to be like, oh, like way beyond the norm, you know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? And like you get like some guy that'd be like, yeah, I drink whiskey every day or whatever, and like some other person would be like, yeah, I slam chocolate every day, and you're like, what? Like that's your fucking secret? And they're like, I don't fucking know, but that's what I'm doing.
Yep,
And
smoking
it's so weird.
menthols and whiskey. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All right. Well, look. I always enjoy our time. I told you it was. What did I say this Thursday was? What did I describe it to you?
Oh, yeah. You said, let me fucking look it up, Eric Zane, because it was funny. You said fucking. Okay, let me get to it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Take your time.
You said yo, as always. That's how we start conversations. We hit it with yo. You said Thursday is Cobweb Pussy Thursday. You down? And I said, all right, yeah. I said Hillary Clinton Thursday. Gotcha. I'm in.
There we go. Okay. Give my best to the family. Have a good day dumpstering. And I'll talk to you very, very soon.
All right. Hell yeah. Love you guys. Deuces.
Peace. There you go. Kyle from a company that used to market on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Quite a talent. That's the thing. You do the podcast, you have to recognize the talent. He is a pure form talent. Tomorrow, I have another one of those. Rick from TC Paintball. I wonder if he's here right now. No. Rob T. I don't know you. There's only a handful of people that actually comment on the chat. A lot of people enjoy it and just remain quiet, and that's totally fine. But it's remarkable because I just let's see, Mark Zink. I don't think I've ever spoken to you. Purple Girl 2, maybe. I don't know. Rob T. Nope. ROGUEG. I don't know what that is. Stefan Hyde is here. Stefan doesn't talk that much. VMYK. James PWZAF. You need to say more. Gonzalez 1969. Want to hear from you. Gene Rick Rang K. Come on now. You can do some chatting. Gallas 3111. DRP 7255. Drapsnat. Debvis. Commander Root. I don't think that's related to Dean Root. ASMR_MIYU. Another viewer. I hope some of these aren't bots. They probably are. Well, nevertheless. Chatters versus viewers. Kenny says Commander is part of Twitch. I don't know what you mean by that. Corey says, you can do some chatting. Bitches out people that talk too much. But he wrote talk too nigh. Commander Root is a bot. Linda says, come on, lurkers. We are a friendly bunch. Gonzalez 1969 says, talk about the GOP train wreck last night. LOL. All right, this is the extent of what I'll talk about. Vivek Ramaswamy took personal shots at Nikki Haley and said something about her daughter and said something sexist. She put that ugly foreigner in his place. I don't want him to win because he looks weird. And you know what? It's really wasted breath to talk about that. Why would anybody care about the GOP debate when these people are all afterthoughts? The only thing interesting to talk about the GOP debate is when moments like that happens, or we can talk about fucking Ron DeSantis and his stupid boots. Gonzalez 1969 said she called him scum. Cool. I mean, that's great. But again, It's a bunch of nobodies. It's Trump and everybody else. I don't like that. I don't wish that to happen. But let's be honest here. He's got it sewn up. They shouldn't even have the debate. If they really wanted somebody other than Joe Biden in office, they should all agree at the same time to get out of the race and endorse Trump. That's what they should do. They have no shot of beating him. Why bother? And if at the end of the day they had to choose between Trump or Biden, they would choose Trump. Well, just get behind him now. You have no shot. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, go potty, and I'll be back. Corey writes, Eric, watch that parking lot brawl video? Yeah, we broke that down already. Where you been? You talking about the all the chicks scantily clad, barely dressed, fighting? And you call yourself a fan? That's what you sent it to me. We played it. Where were you, dumbass? Troll face. Maybe if you spent a little less time with your stupid troll faces and actually subscribing to the show and watching it instead of writing dumb jokes that no one laughs at and stupid troll faces, you might actually get part of what we talk about from time to time. By the way, 4 straight chats in a row like that. That's a yellow card. Now 5. All right. You've just earned a timeout. Just like that. How did you... Incredible. What a turn of events. You've had that one coming for a while. Hey, Eric, did you talk about that brawl I sent you? Why, yes, I did. Where were you? And then he follows it up with 5 straight fucking messages. Yeah, don't clutter the chat with shit, dumb fuck. God damn. All right, you've just earned a spot. The new rankings for 4 Horsemen of Annoying. I forgot what I did last time. It was Amanda. Okay, it was Amanda and Brandis. Brandis was such a grumpy ass yesterday. Oh, God, that whole abortion bitch. It's not funny. It's not funny. Ah. And then Amanda was just like, I get what you're doing. You're just straddling the fence. Oh, that was fucking brutal, you two. So annoying. Get the fucking out. Get out of the way. Shut up. All right, the power rankings go like this. 4 Horsemen of Annoying. First of all, Kenny's not on it. I have 3 for sure. Brandis, Corey, and Amanda. Definitely on it. If in a rare moment I have a vacant spot, we need another member of the show audience to be part of the 4 Horsemen of Annoying. I'd say right now Corey's number 1. And then Amanda and Brandis are 2 and 3, but they're the same. I'll make Amanda number 1 because of lifetime achievement. Corey, I'll put him at the top because he's just annoying. Amanda is 2, but it's a day old, and she hasn't been annoying. Well, she's been kind of annoying today. If she's chatting, she's annoying. And Brandis, because it was just embarrassingly juvenile what she was complaining about yesterday. It's just horrible. God damn it, grow up. Tyler says, Corey is number 1. I must have missed something. Well, you see, the thing is when you're a pain in the ass like Corey, you don't have to do a lot to just vault to the top. Like Kenny, right now he's in the clear. But if he says one fucking comment, one, because of lifetime achievement, which holds a lot of sway, boom, right up there. Okay? And there, all the audience members, Corey, Amanda, and Kenny have the most lifetime achievement. They don't have to do much to be put right to the top. Pains in the ass. A little bit more about Michigan cheating and college football. I think this has been great. I'm very happy that all of this has happened, all this cheating, because it's really created a wonderful dynamic of conversation on this show. You got people saying bullshit, that Michigan didn't do anything. Now, in my opinion, the NCAA finding that they did nothing wrong is really all you need. Did they? Did Michigan cheat? Yes, of course. But they did a great job cheating. Not only were they successful at it for a long period of time, but when it came down to it, the buck stopped at Connor Stalions. There's no other proof. They skate, and that's the best way to cheat. If you are going to cheat, you better goddamn be sure that you cheat well. And damn right they did. There is no proof that Michigan did anything. End of story. It's over. So now it's to a point where the Big Ten is discussing whether or not they will punish Michigan, which Michigan now has all the cards. Okay? They're not going to be punished. But if they are punished, they're going to sue, and they will win. So all we can hope for now is that Michigan loses on the football field. That will supplant all of this and will become the number one thing that people care about. If they beat them on the football field, if Penn State is feeling full-on rapey and gives them the Sandusky at midfield, that's what we want to happen. Michigan to lose. All right? Linda says Harbaugh already missed 3 huge games this year. I suspect you're being sarcastic because they were garbage games. So we want Michigan to lose on this show. The only people who want Michigan to win are Joe Martinez, I think the Kuipers brothers, and I'm not sure who else wants Michigan to win. But in my opinion, they cheated. They were successful at it. Now, the only way that this rights the universe is if they lose. Okay? So, that's what we have to keep our fingers crossed about. Michigan losing.